What's up, guys? Thanks for coming back to my Volvo S90 channel. If you follow along, you know that I've had this 2018 Volvo for a long time, a lot of years. And as our family has changed, some of our needs have as well. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what we considered, what were some of our needs, and ultimately what we decided to replace this beautiful car with. It's very bittersweet saying goodbye to this car. I mean, I loved it. I think this car looks sharp. It's a lot of room. It's so comfortable. Gets pretty good gas mileage for the T5 2-liter turbo engine. And it is pretty sad to see it go, but everything has its time. No car is forever. And I'm super excited for the replacement.
All right, well, I know I keep moving around, but I just didn't have enough time to record while I was at the Volvo dealer. But let's talk a little bit about what our goals were and what the cost parameters were in terms of the buying this car. So we had originally set a budget, maybe no more than 70,000. We like luxury, this is primarily going to be a daily and kind of a shared car between my wife and I. But we were looking for a car. When we first bought the S90, we had one kid. We had one little girl, and now she's a, fairly big girl in elementary school. And we also have a second child. We have a son who is also pretty large now. And so we needed a little bit more room. We like taking road trips. We go down to Austin. We maybe drive to Florida, some of these places. And while the S90 has a ton of room, the trunk is actually really huge, and we fit a ton of stuff, strollers, suitcases, you name it. It's hard to access because it's so deep. You've got to like really lean over to get suitcases in and out. And so that was kind of an issue. Packing, you weren't able to access stuff that was stuffed against the seats. So we decided to go ahead and switch to an SUV. People loved SUVs for the practicality. I still wanted a wagon. My wife wasn't about that wagon life, but compromise, and so we decided on a SUV. Okay, so budget of 70K, like some luxury, kind of want that sportiness. Deep in my heart I would love a X5M or something really sporty. That was kind of out of the budget for something late model. We didn't want to get new just because of the depreciation, and we don't do leases, so we purchase all of our vehicles. So that kind of took away some options, and I think what we really ended up cross shopping was things like just a regular X5, BMW X5. I didn't really look at the Mercedes lineup, whether GLS or GLE. Those just didn't really speak to me, although the interiors are amazing, and I think the cars are very luxurious and pretty reliable. They just didn't make the short list in terms of cars that excited us. I also looked at, possibly Audi Q5, Q7. The issue with that was just kind of depreciation on those is really rough, and depending how far you buy it, it's just going to continue to drop. Not saying that Volvo is necessarily better, but we felt like there was something that was more exciting about Volvo, and the safety aspect and some of the technology, what we were looking for. So we narrowed it down for the BMW. We also looked at the Hyundai Palisade. That's a car that actually my father-in-law drives, and now he's had two Palisades. I've done a couple of reviews on that car. Amazing car, great technology. I think is a lot better bang for the buck with the technology and the luxury in the Palisade versus just the regular Telluride. But so we were looking at that, and I think that was, I want to say considerably cheaper, but it was cheaper than the Volvo. Hyundai, I think, is making a name for itself and really making great cars. I looked at Grand Cherokees. I like the styling of the new Jeeps. They're definitely cost effective. We could get something that was almost new and the price wasn't there, and they are coming out with some of these hybrid versions. Ultimately, I think what made us choose the Volvo was the fact that the hybrid system was updated for 2023. And so what I mean by that is Volvo has the XC90 prior to this. It came out in 2016, and it's been a very popular SUV for Volvo. I mean, they've sold hundreds of thousands of these cars. And the hybrid was introduced as a afterthought. It wasn't designed for a hybrid battery. It was designed as a petrol or a diesel engine. But in 2023, they revised the architecture and they drastically changed the battery design as well as the whole electrical system to run off of this massive DC battery. And I think what drew me to that was the range increased from about 15, 18 miles. It's just not really useful. And now they bumped it up to a full 32. Although on this car now with a full charge, I'm showing almost 40, 39 miles multiple times as the electric range. And 39 miles is incredible. We've been using it for a couple weeks now, and full day of errands, picking up both kids, going to the grocery store. My wife has even gone to work, popped across town, all on a single battery charge. I think what actually kills the battery a lot is highway speed type of driving. Going 70, 75 miles an hour drains the battery. But if you're doing stop and go, the battery is incredibly efficient and you'll get that full mileage range. So having the biggest hybrid battery range in a package that was visually appealing. I mean, I think the XC90 looks great. It's getting a little bit dated in that they haven't updated it in forever, but that aside, it still looks pretty good. The technology inside with Google updated is light years better than Census. And so maybe just, my affinity for Volvo and sticking with this through what was not great technology and seeing how much better it could be with Google Maps, Google voice activation, which is fast. It instantly, I mean, it's just like using Siri on your phone, your iPhone, and all of these things, because it was enough of an upgrade and going to other platforms, even using their technology, it felt clunkier to me and it was a little bit harder to adjust. So that's how we picked it. We picked a 2023 used Volvo XC90. We didn't care about color. We just wanted, the best value with the options. And when we went to a couple of dealers, they actually suggested a 2024. That was a loaner model, had 3,000 miles, and they're basically selling it for the exact same price that we were looking at a 2023 model. So we were sold. We were able to purchase this. We were able to get an okay trade-in on the S90. Guys, if you're looking for a long-term car, I think buying a used S90, these things tend to depreciate because there is very, very few S90s on the market. I think market lists mine, there's some for sale for in the 20s, 20, 22, 23, maybe 24,000, but realistically, they're going to trade in the high teens, which means at a wholesale or private market, you're going to get them for mid-teens. I mean, talking $16,000, $15,000 is a great price for a car if it's had some of the updates. Otherwise, budget $1,000 to $2,000 to freshen up the car and have a major service. Maybe replace the AC evaporator. And some of those types of things. But that's it. I think so far the car is not meant to be luxury. It's already gotten dirty, and if you have kids, it's inevitable, and we know it, so we didn't want to spend too much on a nice car that was just going to get dirty. I get it, it's about using it, but part of me still cringes when my kid puts their feet up on the seat and I've got to yell at them, this is a brand new car, or it's new to us, don't put your feet up on the seat, we're trying to keep it clean. But that's why we picked the Volvo. So far, we're happy. This YouTube channel is now going to be about Volvo content. So please tune in. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments and if you have any questions about the car. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.